Hello and welcome to the Select Board update for the meeting that happened on Wednesday, October 20th. We are still meeting via Zoom. We started at 7 p.m. with citizens participation and also recognition of Community Media Day and all the work that WACA-TV does for the Ashland community. We went into a EVERSOURCE grant location at 7:15. They are petitioning for the approval to put in a box on Whittemore Drive for some of the new construction that's happening just off of Whittemore Drive. After some discussion with their representative, it was approved. The abutters will be getting notification of when the work is to be completed, and we have asked that they close the road and repave it appropriately. At 7:30, we heard from the Sustainability Committee talking to us about the NETZERO plan that they are working on. They've been doing a lot of work since it was voted on at town meeting that we would like to be net zero by 2040. They went through a very full and detailed presentation about what the plan is going to look like. They are still looking for feedback from the public. So if you want to take a look and listen to the full presentation, you can do that. And also the presentation will be going up on the town website. A lot of good questions and a lot of good discussion. They're looking to bring a proposal to the fall town meeting and then the full net zero plan to the spring town meeting. We approved our consent agenda. We're approving a few new appointees, someone in our IT department and a new transitional assistance coordinator over at the community center, and also the change of some committee members for the MINDESS School Building Committee. From there, we started discussing, we voted to accept the 2020 RE-PRECIncting plan for Ashland, not only for our local elections, but for state elections. Right now, we are looking to go to 6 precincts, and you can see the map up on the town website and follow along on the meeting. Also at the state level, Ashland will be staying in the 7th Middlesex District for our state rep, and we will be continuing with Karen Spilka or her seat as our Senate seat. From there, we discussed and reviewed some requests for night work on Union Street, which is Route 135, over by the Public Safety Building. They are looking to do some improvements on the road, remove some of the islands at the bridge there on Fountain Street. They'll be working some evenings. Fortunately, there's not too much residential in that area, so hopefully they won't be too much affected by that work. We then discussed and reviewed the initial warrant for the special town meeting that is happening on Wednesday, December 1st. Right now, there's only about 6 or 7 articles that are being presented. You can take a look at them. They'll be soon up on the website in a draft form, and the Select Board will be approving and closing the warrant at our first meeting in November. From there, we discussed the next round of the Select Board BAA grants. Thank you so much to all the runners who ran in the Boston Marathon with the Ashland numbers. We get about $60,000 toward our Selectmen grant program, and we've opened it up now, so you can submit for BAA grants. All the requirements and information are up on the town website. This round of grants will be open until November 17th, where then our subcommittee of Steve Mitchell and Rob Scher will review all those grants and will hope to approve them at our first meeting in December. So if you have an organization that could use some funding, take a look at the requirements and go ahead and apply. From there, we went into our rail trail, our priority project update. Rail Transit District, things are moving along for the United Group of Companies on their project. They have their permits in place. The appeals have been reviewed. So we're just waiting to hear from them when they're going to be able to start digging and start that project going. And that, again, is on Memorial Drive, just past the middle school. Also up on the rail transit, up in the rail transit area, is the Trolley Brook Trail. We are waiting for some bridge pieces to get put in place, and we're hoping to have it paved before the end of paving season, which is sometime in November, and it's really dependent on the weather. Be on the lookout for information on a ribbon cutting and celebration of the Trolley Brook Trail sometime in November, being planned by our Upper Charles Trail Committee. From there, we went into downtown and the construction update there. The undergrounding of the utilities is moving forward. They're hoping to get some of that done, and again, moving forward through the fall, and hope to have most of it done before the true winter weather sets in. We're working with EVERSOURCE to get some of that work completed. From there, we discussed the Public Safety and MINDESS building, Public Safety building. As you drive by, you can see that it's moving forward. There are now some trades working on the inside, electrical and plumbing. They're looking to get the whole outside buttoned up before the winter, and then they'll keep moving forward. The third level has been put up, which will be mostly administration and housing and space for the staff when they're there during their shifts, but not necessarily the day-to-day activity. So keep watching. A great place to check out what's going on there is the Public Safety's Facebook page. We also then talked about the MINDESS. They are looking to get shovel in the ground sometime in December. They've gone out to some bids. The appeal process is just about closed for their building permits from the Planning Department and the Conservation Department. Once those have been certified, you'll start seeing a little more work in back of the MINDESS moving forward. We then talked about Route 126. All you have to do is drive on Route 126 to see that progress is still going on. A lot of undergrounding is still going on of pipes, and for utilities, there will be poles there, but they had to put in some new sewage and some new plumbing and some new water pipes. They've started a little bit more work on the south end near Holliston, where they're doing a little more widening, and it'll go slowly. It is going to be a 2 to 3 year project, which I know we've talked about before, so patience is required. We also got a request from EVERSOURCE to also do some night work. Again, it'll be Monday through Thursday from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. to do some of the repaving. It's a lot easier to do when there aren't a lot of people driving it, but abutters will be notified. The last thing we talked about was the VALENTINE project. We are still getting some quotes to get that cabled to make it tight for the winter, and then there'll be more work being seen done in the spring. From there, we went into our town manager update. Mr. Michael Herbert had a bunch of information. He reviewed a little bit more of the redistricting process, as I talked about earlier in our meeting. We then went on to a review of our other post-employment benefits update. We had a review of where we are, what our benefits are, our requirement is in long term, and then we're doing very well with regards to the money that we're putting aside, but we may have to review it in a few years to see that we're not maybe needing to put a little bit more aside as we look at the funding for that post-employment benefit, also known by a lot of people as OPEB, and what our OPEB requirement is. From there, we discussed some holiday programs coming up, and we'll be sharing a lot of those with you here at Around the Clock. Coming up, there's the Diwali Festival that we talked about. There's also going to be some fun Christmas events coming up, so make sure you are on the lookout for that. The last thing he talked about and updated on was the new COVID testing site that's happening at the Ashland train station. You can go through the town website and register for that testing, or you can also do drive up. It's been working very well. You just need to check the hours. Some days it's in the morning and some days it's in the afternoon. After the town manager's report, we went into board reports, and after much discussion about a lot of different things from our board reports, the meeting wrapped up at about 10:15. If you want to watch the whole meeting or more detailed information about any of the update I gave, you can go ahead and rewatch the select board meeting on either WACA-TV on the government channel or through our YouTube. And thanks for watching this select board update.